Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes only on YouTube, where we're gonna be learning about the fun facts about biology. Not only that, we are covering the NEET broad syllabus which is needed for upcoming things for the upcoming 2026. It is even covering your 11th academic syllabus as well as your 12th academic syllabus. Students, before we're gonna start it up with today's lecture, I want to tell you certain things. That is that don't think that these syllabus are more than NCERT or something like that. When the current trend is that everything will come little bit extra. Of course, at your academic levels, teachers might make a little easier paper for 11th class, not for the 12th class. So why not for 11th also? Why don't we learn 11th also well when it has a broader perspective with respect to the needs? So this syllabus that we are covering in it is exactly what is needed. It is conditioned, it is seasoned with the best which should be possible to you from various coaching institutes, materials, not just the printed materials, but what actually the faculty teaches in the classrooms. Let's not just talk too much and deeply dive into our chapter, that is plant kingdom. This is from 11th class. This video is from the 11th class and we have already covered the division algae or thallophytes. Now we are moving forward to what? We are moving to the second division, that is division bryophytes. Within this week, we will be completing the plant kingdom for sure. So that for the 11th class, we are a little bit fasten up our number of videos. So first of all, the study of Bryophyta means, for example, if I am the one who want to study about Bryophyta, because like since now we soon gonna be MBBS doctors, and at that time we will be studying about what? About the medicinal field. So we will be called as what? Doctors, right? Similarly, I am what? Dentist, because I studied about what? Oral cavity or tooth. Same if someone wants to study about Bryophytes. So the study of Bryophyte is called as what? It is called as Bryology. Simple thing. So the first thing is study of bryophytes is known as bryology. And who is the father of bryology? So no, sorry, who coined this term Bryophyta? It is being coined by Robert Brown. Okay, so term coined by Robert Brown. Okay, now the next thing is that let's just talk about bryophytes. Earlier when we were studying about the algae, so most of them what aquatic in nature. Okay, here they are what? Bryophytes are considered as first land invaders. Land invaders means what? Always remember, beta, when this whole planet formed, the life arises in the ocean, in the water. But soon from water, certain animals or organisms comes on the land also, and they invade the terrestrial environment. Now, who are the first who invade the lands? These are bryophytes only. Means plants only were the first who invaded the land, and after that animal comes. Okay, so that's why they are providing what? Sources of food also. So here bryophytas are considered as the initial plants who invade the land. Okay, so the first point we will remember at bryophytes are first land invaders during course of evolution. During course of evolution. But there was a problem. They were like amphibians. Okay, sir, what is amphibians? Till now we know that amphibians means, amphi means both. Bians means livable, okay, or dependable, okay, which means what? We call that frogs are the amphibians. Why we call them amphibians? Because these are those organisms which are dependent on two different environment for their life cycle. Okay, what it is? Amphibians of plant kingdom means that bryophytes means although they live in the terrestrial environment, but for the fertilization they need water, so they go back to the water for that process. Fertilization means what? Male and female gamete to meet It occurs outside their body. Okay, so same thing was happening in the algae also. The gametes are released in the environment and they grow, right? They form what? Zygote, which undergo what? Meiosis. Okay, we will be learning these cycles in more detail, in the more better way of understanding in the last part of the chapter. Okay, but for now, just remember what? These are considered as the amphibians of plant kingdoms. So bryophytes are what? Amphibians of plant kingdoms, and this becomes an important question for academics also. Okay, so why it is becomes amphibians of plant kingdoms? Because they are dependent on, because they are dependent on water, dependent on water for fertilization. Okay, the next thing is that their sex organs, they are hidden, you can't easily appreciate them. So but these are multicellular organisms. Okay, very important thing is that these are multicellular. Unicellular were what? They are present in the algae only, not over here. They are multicellular. Now what I was talking about, that their sex organs are hidden, so they are what? They are cryptogams. Cryptogams means what? Sex organs hidden. Sex organs are hidden, but they are present. So male sex organ has a name, female sex organ has a name. Okay, so what is the name? So male sex organ called as what? Antheridium. Female sex organ, archegonium. Oh wait, archegonium. Okay, so these terms you will remember for now. Okay, archegonium or oogonium, this is more used term. Okay, we're going to be learning about it. So they are having sex organ which is hidden. Next thing is whether they have vascular bundles. No, vascular bundles, they do not have xylem and phloem. So no vascular bundle. Now the question is, ma'am, we have sir, we have studied that the vascular bundles are what? Xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. Xylem, xy means water, phloem, fur means food and water conduction tissue is present in them. Then if it is not present in there, how they are actually conducting this? Then they are doing it with the help of parenchyma. You might have studied that a parenchyma is what? A type of a tissue system, okay, in the plants. So here what happened? They help with the help of what? They have a low conduction method. Low conduction method means what? If this is the one cell, this is another cell. So what is happening? The water will move through them, through one by one. Like the water will go either inside it. As it go inside the cell, it will move, and then it will go to the next cell which is joined to it. So this way the water and food is being reached to the distant part. Now think about it. This is so slow process. How it is slow process? Think about it. This is me and there is another person here, and this way a body is made. So what will happen? The food will, like for example, imagine that this is the food. It comes to me, I ate it, I gave the legs. It ate it, it gave to the next. So this way, one by one, passing the parcel thing will take more time. Or if there would be no one like this and direct, someone will send the thing. Someone will put it into the thing and throw it to the next one. That is what? That is more better and fast way. So here the conduction is very low. Because of this reason, that it requires so much of efforts by each cell present in the body of bryophytes. Bryophytes seldom attain a big heights. So they don't have much height present. They are very small plants. Okay, so they are small in heights. Okay, so no vascular bundles. So no vascular bundle means no, like that's why seldom attain means, seldom means a rare phenomenon. Okay, seldom attain great heights. Now if it is not there, someone will do its function. So function is done by, means vascular bundle function is what? Conduction of water and food. Okay, this is being done by what? Done by parenchyma, and I have explained you that it's a slow process, okay, compared to the vascular bundle conduction of food and the water. Okay, next point is that how they look like. Now there are different varieties are there. Total 3 divisions are there. So if I have to write that, further classification has 3 different classes. Okay, so what are the classes? There is classes like liverworts. Okay, there is a classes like hornworts, and there is a classes like mosses. These are the examples which are present inside it. Although the liverworts are called as hepatopsida. Okay, like these words are given to them. Okay, so this thing is there. So what are the names given to them? Liverworts are called as Hepaticopsida class. Hornworms are called as Anthioceropsida. And mosses belongs to your classes of, okay, what the classes? Okay, I'm forgetting it. I will recapitulate when we will be studying about it. Okay, so these are the 3 ones which are present. So I'm telling about the body. Now their body has what? 2 different types of cell structure. Remember when we are starting the biological classification, I told you what? That the organism might be what? It will be haploid or diploid. But here what we see that their life has haplo and diploid, both the things. And they can't live alone. They had to be living like this form only. But there would be a major plant body. So the major plant body in this case is haploid. And when a haploid body is there, we call it gametophytic body. So their main body is gametophytic. When we are using the word gametophytic, means gameto means gamete like. Phytic means ploidy is like of that. Body is like that. Okay, this way we have to remember this fact. If it is haploid kind of a body, then we are saying that how come the diploid thing is coming? If you would have understand the little bit of life cycle, then this might have clicked to you, and that is a major thing that should have clicked to you. Let's just not directly deepen into it. Let's just first see it, okay, that how it is taking place. So their body, main body is what? It is gametophytic, but sporophytic body is also there. Sporophytic means diploid body is called as sporophytic body. Okay, that is also there. So gametophytic body will make the gametes, sporophytic will make the spores. The name itself is saying a lot of things. So these facts you have to remember it. We will be remembering it again and again. Let's just see that. I told you what? I told you till now that main plant body is gametophytic. Okay, then sporophytic body is dependent on it for its survival. What things? Now there are the versions. If you see the liverworts, here the complete dependency is seen, but in case of hornworts and this, there is a partial dependency is seen. So here what is happening? Here I am writing only. In liverworts, complete dependent sporophyte is there. Sporophyte. Okay, means what are the things needed for the life? Food, shelter, and water. Shelter is also written as habitat. So all these three things in case of liver, what sporophyte can't survive, can't make. Okay, means food, why can't? Because it is not photosynthetic. So these things are there. When it comes to in hornworts and mosses, partial dependent sporophyte is there. Partial dependent sporophyte. Why partial dependent sporophyte is there? Because it is photosynthetic. So means photosynthetic cells must be present in it. So it can make its own food just for the shelter and water it needed. So I hope this is an important point. You remember it. This can be a conceptual understanding and can be put into assertion reason, can be put into your academic exams as well if a really good type of questions coming in your paper. I hope this thing is understood. Moving on. Okay, we understood that they have a two different types of body present, but how they look like? If I have to say that, means their body will have what? Sporocytic body also, gametophytic body also. Let's just try to imagine how it is there and how its sporophytic and gametophytic body looks different. So I am giving you example of Funaria. Here I am just giving you an example. Okay, I am not going into deeper types. Funaria belongs to one of the divisions over there. Okay, we learn it later. Here I want to tell you that how gametophyte and sporophyte is present. So now their plant body. Okay, so first of all, remember that bryophyte plant body is more organized compared to algae. Okay, but still it has what? The aquatic part of it. Like some of the bryophytes are aquatic and they're derived from the aquatic plants. I told you that from the ocean they come into the land. They still have air canals present into it. Why the air canals is present? We have not talked about this in the algae topic. Air canals, air bubbles are present for the buoyancy, so that it can float in the water. If the air would be there, it will float, or else it will go down. How you will remember it? Have you seen that the helium gas balloons, when you put the helium gas, they are like flying. Imagine that, flying in the air. But when the helium gas discharge, what happened? They came down. Okay, so this thing happens. So this thing is like air is very important for providing what? Buoyancy in the water, means a effect where it will be floating in the water, not submerged in the water pressure. Okay, so here bryophyte's plant body is more elaborated, but still have characters or features similar to aquatic ancestors. Who was the phylogenetical ancestor? That is algae. So as they came from the algae, Chlorophytes family. So what are the characters, if someone will ask? What is the character? Character is air canals. Air canals presence. Although it is of no use. No buoyancy is needed in the terrestrial environment, but these are what? Certain features which are remnants of past evolutionary history. Like for example, in my body, there are what? There is a presence of joint pinna. Okay, this you might have studied in 10th class. This pinna is joint, but most of the people has what? Cut, slit pinna. So I am what? I am recessive trait is there. Earlier it used to be there, now it is not there, but still present in my body. Similar like many other things which might be very vestigial, might be present in our bodies. Okay, so this thing is there. Moving on, if we are coming up, we are taking the example of Funaria and we are trying to find out how the body look like and trying to imagine it. Here we're going to be seeing it. Now the next thing is their plant body do not have stem-like, root-like, or exactly this kind of thing. So there might not be any stem, there might not be any root, there might not be any leaf, but similar kind of structures present to the higher plants if we are making what? A kind of a similarities. So what happened over here? So they have what? The plant body has no true roots, stems, or leaf like structure, but similar root like structures called rhizoids, which is what usually they are unicellular, but they could be multicellular. So as I say that it could be what these structures, mostly it is unicellular, but in case of the mosses it is multicellular, okay, or multicellular. They can be single or branched, okay, can be branched. Normally unicellular one is what, unbranched, can be unbranched, okay. Then there is what, leaf like structure, sometimes called as font, and stem like structure. Now this thing which I am telling you, it is what, for the gametophyte. So when we are studying for what, we are studying for the major plant body. So this is how a gametophytic body will look like. So this description heading is gametophytic body. Now if I'm saying that these structures will be seen, okay, what won't be seen? The thing would be what, that there might be sex organs present on it. So the next thing which will definitely be present on a gametophytic would be what, sex organs. And what are they called as? Antheridium and archegonium. Now let's just talk about the sporophytic body. So what would be present in the sporophytic body? Now have a different type of sporophytic body. When I'm saying different type of sporophytic body, means that the most elaborate sporophytic body is present in Funaria, okay, that is what your mosses. So in them there are three structures present: foot, seta, and capsule. And capsule in case of Funarias has further teeth like structures present, which help in what, these are what, elasters are what, these kinds of cell layers which will do what, they will burst and everything will come out from it. Everything means spores will come out from it. So there is what, sporophytic body is what, it made up of three things if I have to make it. So one such sporophytic body I am making. So this is what, this is the part called as foot, this part is called setae, and this is what, this is capsule. In reality, a lot of places there are saying that sporophytic body is what, it is sporangium. Sporangium word, what we know from the sporangium word, it means what, it is like bag like structures, because in this bag only spores present. But in sporophytic body, where this bag like structure, what is that? This is the capsule thing. So capsule is in reality what, sporangium, because here only your spores will be present. And spores is not directly present, there must be certain cells which will make spore. What is the name of that cell? That cell name is spore mother cell, okay. So this is how a sporophytic body look like. Now in Funaria, means in your mosses, all these three layers are present, but there are certain where what, where only one or two structures present. For example, in Rickettsia there is only capsule part is present. In certain others there is what, there is only foot and capsule present, no setae present. So these kind of differences are there. So most advanced is the Funaria one, because all the structures are present, plus inside it there is what, elastomeres present, which help in what, they help in the bursting of capsule and seed dispersal. So helps in seed dispersal. So this is how it looks like. Now if I have to make the diagram of it, so there is what first thing, gametophytic body we have to make. So I'm making it with the green color. This gametophytic body is like this. This is what? These are root-like structures, rhizoid. Okay, here it is multicellular. Okay, and there might be branch present. Then there is what? There is a setae kind of thing. Sorry, there is a stem-like thing. Stem-like structure. And on it, there is a presence of what? There is a presence of leaf-like structure. So this is what? Leaf-like structure. Function is also similar. So this is what? This is how a gametophyte look like. Gametophyte. On the top of it, there is a presence of what? There is a presence of sporophyte. Sporophyte is partially dependent on it. Why partially dependent on it? Because the capsule has certain photosynthetic cells. So if it has a photosynthetic cells means what? It will be able to do its work. But for what it is dependent? For water and for the shelter. Okay. So this area, this is the capsule. Since it is photosynthetic, so I am making it a green in color. Okay. So this whole thing, this is what? This is foot, this is setae, and this is the capsule. And this structure is what? It is sporophyte. So this is how a funaria, which is the most advanced variety of your bryophytes that you have to remember. Now let's just one by one see the things which is present inside it. But before we're gonna be going into the classes, let's go with the life cycle of it, which is the most important part. So the main plant body is what? It is gametophyte. So imagine that this is the a gametophyte. So gametophyte had what? All the cell N. Since gametophyte, the word itself say that it is the home of gametophyte. Okay, so means it is what? Where the gametes will be formed. Now the gametes will definitely be forming inside the sex organs. So these plants, now they could be same like monoecious or dioecious. Okay, we will study about this later. So what is the difference between monoecious and dioecious? Monoecious means, mono means one body. Means that within the one body both the sexes are present, means both the sex organs are present. And the other is what? Dioecious. Dioecious means two different body. So means the sexes are separate here. This case. But here it is in the same body. Now I am over here making what? I am making the one which has two different sexes. Okay, so I am going with dioecious kind of a body. So if it is a dioecious kinds of a body, this is the one body, this is another body. So now on this sex organs are present. So there is what? One, this I am making one structure and the second structure. So this is what? This is the male body, male plant, and this is the female plant. So in the male plant, this is the male sex organ. So here I am taking a very example from the NCERT so that you can remember it. So this is what, this is your Marchantia. In case of that, what happened? This male structure is called as what? Antheridium. This is the name of sex organ. So male body, male sex organ, antheridium. And this is what? It is a stalk-like thing. For the stalk, we use the word four. Okay, so this is what? Antheridiophore. Now, similarly, there will be what? There will be a female structure present. So here, see. Okay, so this is what? This is the female structure. Now, the female structure will have a name. The name is Archegonium. Archegonium. And since this is what? Female sex organ name, this is what? This is a stalk-like thing. So this name is what? Archegoniophore. So this thing you have to remember. Now what will happen? Both of them, the male sex organ and female sex organ, will make the gametes. Now how the gametes will be made? Since their whole body is what? Haploid. So they have to make what? Gametes. Gametes will also be haploid. So means the ploidy content has to remain same. And once the ploidy content has to remain same, it is what? Mitosis. Mitosis. Since the plant body and the gamete have similar ploidy level, so they are undergoing what? Mitosis. Now with the mitosis, they will make the gametes. The male gametes, they are what? They are normally comma shaped and they are bifragilate. So means motile. So this is like this. And we call them what? This is the male gamete. We call them anthriozoite. Anthriozoites. Zoid word is what? Motile structure. Antheriovale, male sexed structure. Now the female gamete. Now it is what? It is normally what? It is egg. Certain time this archegonium, they ask how it looks like. The archegonium is what? Flask shaped at time. Okay, we will do it later, but here now the egg is there, this is there, ploidy level is what? NN. This is a female gamete. Now what will happen? It will fuse, means fertilization will occur. This fertilization will leads to what? The ploidy level will increase to double. So this structure that is formed, it is zygote. Okay, and as the zygote forms, it marks the beginning of a different ploidy level. So this is the zygote formed by what? Formed by N plus N, that is 2N structure. Now this zygote will do what? This will not divide directly, but it will develop, means there is what? There is a formation of embryo. So remember, there was embryonate and embryonate division also there. So here the first time embryo forms because the zygote will divide. So here what happened? Zygote divide and multiply and increase its size, and forms embryo. So they are doing what? They are doing mitosis, increasing their number. Increase number and differentiate. Now it differentiate into what? It differentiate into a structure called as sporophyte. Means it will look like what? It will look like this. This is what? Foot, setae and capsule. These structures will be there. Now inside capsule there is a presence of what? There is a presence of cells. So there are cells present over here. These cells will do what? These cells are spore mother cell. Now these cells, like since all of this is made up of what? Mitosis only. So all will be what? Diploid in structures. Now all are diploid in structure. Diploid structures, final version calling sporophyte. Now spore mother cell will also be 2n. But now something will happen. What will happen? The spore mother cell will undergo meiosis. Meiosis is what? Reductional division. So inside this capsule, this is the capsule, there will be what? From single mother cell, multiple spores will be forming. Okay. And these are what? These are spores. Now once these spores are formed, this structure will burst, and as this burst open, who will help it? A particular type of tissue. Burst. Okay, and these spores will spread into the air. So spores disperse. And wherever they will fall and germinates. So this is how the life cycle look like. They again form what? Gametophyte, because these spores are what? These spores ploidy level is N, because they are formed by meiosis. Meiosis happen in what? In a 2n structure. So this is what, how a life cycle of a bryophytes look like. So what it is? There is a gametophyte. Okay, their gametophyte could be monoecious or dioecious. Monoecious means single body, both the organ present. Dioecious means different. I have shown you dioecious because in your book also there is a diagram of Machantia present, which is showing what? It is highlighting the dioecious kind of structure. Now in this, the male structure is called as antheridium, female structure is called as archegonium. Both will make their gametes. Antheridium will make anthrozoite, male gamete, female will make the egg. Both will fertilized. Where this fertilization will occur? It will occur in the water. The male will travel with the help of water, and this kind of fertilization is called as zoodiogamy. So this is what? Zoodiogamy. Okay. Now once n plus n will makes, it will makes 2n, means ploidy increases, means they becomes what? Diploid. This diploid structure is called zygote. Now zygote will grow, means their cell will multiply by the mitosis, and it will form an embryo and finally a sporophytic body which has 3 structures present. What are the structure? Foot, setae and capsule. Inside capsule there are certain cells present called spore mother cell. They will undergo meiosis, means they will reduce from 2n, the whole structure was 2n, it will reduce to what? N. And as it will reduce to n, there will be what? These spores, like the capsule will burst and spore will dispersed in the air. Wherever they will fall, it will leads to formation of what? A new gametophyte. Okay, and the whole cycle will keep on happening again. This is the bryophyte's life cycle, which I have told you. Now there can be other ways of reproduction. This is sexual reproduction. There is a vegetative way by fragmentation, and there is an asexual way by the help of gamma cup and all those things. This is the life cycle which I told you. this is happening. In certain of them, like in the this particular Marchantia example I gave you, but certain times what happen, that spores do not directly germinate. They undergo successive stages, and the successive stages are seen in case of funaria kind of plants. What are they? We will learn later. But what happened in that cases? So here I am writing another version. So what happened? This in case of mosses, they first form what? They first form proteinema, which is also called as primary proteinema. This primary proteinema form a bud, which is also called as secondary proteinema, before actually forming this. Now, what is the advancement over it? The advancement is that survival rate increases if it is like this. So this is what? This way increases survival rate. Okay, with this the life cycle of Bryophytes is over. Let's just study about the classifications which is present inside it. So we have the first. As stated earlier, there are 3 different classes of Bryophytes. Starting with the first one, that is liverworts. Now the liverwort is coming from its structure. Okay, means structure appearance. Structure or appearance. A very common variety of it. So they are what? Either they will be liver-like. Okay, so means if the structure you have to see over here, they look like what? A liver kind of structure. Can you see this? So either they are like this or they are flat. So 2 examples that you have to remember in this is that they could be liver-like Marchantia, or they could be flat like Rickettsia. So they are put into this variety. Since the liver, we use the word hepato. Okay, so these are called Hepaticocida. Okay, now the next thing is that their body is what? Thallus-like. Thallus is what? Just a leafy structure like thing. Okay, node mark differentiation is there, and they are dorsiventral, means there are 2 surfaces. One is a dorsal surface, other is what? A ventral surface of it. Now on the ventral surface, there is the presence of what? Roots are present, which are unicellular. So rhizoids and scales are present on it. Okay, so they are what? Rhizoids, which are the roots, which are unicellular and unbranched. Okay, and scales are present on it. Okay, they are multicellular. Okay, so remember this. Next is the leafy members, like what? Porella has tiny leaf-like appendages in the 2 rows on the stem-like structure. So it appears like what? Like this. Like this. Okay. Now the next thing is, now their saprophyte. I told you that the saprophyte is completely dependent on it for the food, water and habitat. Whereas sporophytes has what? 3 structures: foot, setae and capsule. In case of Rickettsia, here the sporophyte only have capsule present. Okay, means more primitive types. So that's why they are considered also little primitive in terms of Bryophytes family also. Okay, next what happened? True elaters. True elaters means that these are the cells which help in breakdown of the capsule. I told you the capsule will burst and what? Spores will come out for germination. They are present in it, and we have to remember that what basically happen, they take up the water and later on the water get dry up. Once they get dry up, they get shrink. As they get shrink, the cells are very weaker, they just torn apart. Oh, and it just opened up. Okay, so examples which you have to remember is Rickettsia and Marchantia. Now over here you have to remember that this example is given in NCERT, and Marchantia is what? It is a dioecious plant. Male and female body is different, and Rickettsia is the simplest one because their sporophyte do not have much differentiation. They just has what? Capsule present. Now I told you that there might be an asexual way of reproduction, that is with the help of what, either fragmentation or by the formation of gamma cups. Gamma cups are what, like imagine that this is the structure, in that there is a certain depression present, and these are what, these are birds kind of a thing. They just inside it, these gamma cups, okay, these cups are present over here. Inside these cups, what is there? There is a gamma buds present. These cups detach, these birds detached, and wherever they fall, they grow as a new plant. So this happen in case of liverworts. So this is super important. Okay, now during sexual reproduction, same sex organ can be produced and different. So different example is given to you, that is Marchantia. Okay, so these two are there. So if you see that the male structure is this like, and the female structure look like this. So how I will remember it? I will remember it, females are more organized. So here you can see that each leaf-like structure is very different. Male are clumsy, so everything is like this. Okay, this way I can differentiate whether they have given me a male plant or a female plant. And this can become a very important question in the differentiation with respect to diagram based questions. Okay, so these things are shown to you. Then comes our second class, that is Anthroceropsida, which are hornworts. Now the question is, why the word horn coming? Because their capsule are what? There are certain cells present in the capsules which keep on growing and give it the photosynthetic capability. These growth appears like what? Horn kind of a growth. So horn kind of structure capsule is being formed. That's why they are called as hornworts. So they are what? They are Anthroceros. One example you have to remember. Now this group, they can also be a rhizoids. Rhizoids could be unicellular, unbranched. Scales are absent in this case, but rhizoids are present. So in case of earlier, the scales were present. Okay. Now the sporophyte has foot and capsule, means it do not have setae, but it is not as simplest as the rickettsia. Okay. Now here what happened? I told you what? The hornworts capsule has a photosynthetic capability as well as it's keep on growing. So means what? If it had photosynthetic cavity, means for the food it is not dependent much on the gametophyte, just for the shelter and water. So we considered is semi-parasite. Why? Because sporophyte is photosynthetic. It can manufacture its own food, but depends only for water and habitat. This becomes an important point to remember. Okay, there I have told you it has a special type of meristems which grows rapidly and appears like what? Horn of animal. So this is what it is, hornworts. Okay, after this the next is what? Bryophyta, means more, these are the most advanced ones, and what comes into it? Mosses. So they have what? They have leaf-like, stem-like and root-like structures. Root-like structures are still called as rhizoid, but they are multicellular and branched. So rhizoids are what? Multicellular, branched and obliquely septate. If the multicellular condition is there, septa will be present. There are oblique septa present. Means for example, if these are one, so it has multiple septa. So the septa is not straight like this. They are more like this way. So understood? Oblique septa look like this. Now the next thing is the vegetative reproduction can take place by the fragmentation and by the secondary protonema stage. Secondary protonema is what? It is a kind of a bud only. I have told you. I have written a protonema in the life cycle. Protonema forming what? Bud. Bud is what? Secondary protonema only. During sexual reproduction, apex of the leaf shoots, the structures are present. Male and female sex organ is present. Their moss has a sporophyte which is more elaborate, more developed, and has foot, seta and capsule, which was not earlier present, because earlier it was what? Mostly the foot and capsule present. They are also semi-parasitic like hornworts because the photosynthetic capabilities is present in its capsule. These are the two examples given to you. What are the two examples? One is Veneria, which we have already studied. So gametophyte is there, sporophyte is there. Whereas other one is the sphagnum. Sphagnum, you can see that archegonial branch, means this small one over here. They are what? The female branch, where the female sex organ present. And these are what? Antheridial branch, means here the male structure would be present. How? Whatever the male will produce, by the help of water, it will reach here. Okay, now the next thing is examples of it. So examples, like we have to remember the examples of every one of them. So here there are three examples which you have to remember, that is Funaria, Polytrichum and Sphagnum. Here Funaria is called as rope moss, cod moss, green moss, like this Funaria. Polytrichum is what, hair cap moss, and the last one is the Sphagnum. Sphagnum is called as bog moss because it grows on the acidic bog or the acidic soil or mud kind of a thing. Now it forms what, it's rapidly growing, these bryophytes rapidly growing. So what happened, they appears like a carpet of the moss is there. Okay, so it looks like that. And these are also bryophytes, that's why also called as what, they are gregarious. They comes in a lot of army kind of a thing, where there lot of them comes together or grows together. They're peat moss also because what happened, the Sphagnum, what it got fossilized over the period of time. Fossilized means when the early time it was present in abundance. There is always a time, like currently it's the age of humans, okay, age of mammals, okay. There was a time when the bryophytes are more, like in case of plants it is the age of angiosperm. That's why we're going to be studying about flowering plants more. Now what happened in that time when it was more abundant, certain evidences has been made that they are all being dusted down into the soil and they become fossilized. So they are what, they help in as a major what we say that, as a fuel producer or kind of a thing. We can use it as a fossil fuel. And very important thing is that since they are, why they become fossil over the period of time, why they don't get degraded in the soil, because they grow in the acidic soil, and acidic soil do not contain lot of microorganisms, so their decomposition rate is also slower. That is the major reason. It is also used as the absorbent cotton in case of Europe, so it is called as absorbent cotton for the absorption purposes. Now if we see that bryophytes are not of much economical importance to us, but if we see the course of any area to become colonized by different organisms, then the first foremost organisms that colonized a barren area is always a lichen and a moss, and they grow over there. So for example, if there is a rocky area, on that lichen will come because pollution is not there, and after lichen there will be what, there will be mosses present. Lichen and mosses will do what, they will do their metabolic activities and they will degrade the rock. And as they will degrade the rock, what will happen, the rock will weather down, and as it will weather down, it will be what, in the form of small chunks, and the soil will be formed, which will helpful in the next plant, better higher plants to come and colonize that area. So that is the significant importance of this, that it is important to make the soil and for that area. And of course if they are present there, so they will bind the soil also in that area. So soil erosion and all those things which happens when the rain falls in an area will also minimized or reduced. With this, the topic bryophyte is over. I hope you like this video. If you like and understand this video, give me a like, comment down your whole experience, what you're going through with this video. And if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. The PDF for this video would be available on my Telegram page. Its link will be in the description, as well as its link would be available on my WhatsApp channel, which you can follow. That's the Chlorophyll classes. Its description will also be available there. So that's all for this video, and do share this video. It motivates me a lot, and that's all for this video. Thank you.